The cabinet has approved 4.1 billion Kenyan shillings to expand relief efforts in regions hit by drought following the failure of last year's short rains. Currently, an estimated 3.3 million people face acute food insecurity, and a number expected to rise to 3.6 million by June. Mandera, Wajir, Kwale and Kilifi are in the alarm phase, while 12 other counties remain on alert. Acute malnutrition is worsening, affecting more than 810,000 children and 104,000 pregnant and lactating women. Existing relief stocks are expected to last only a few weeks. The cabinet has also warned of deteriorating livestock conditions, distress cells, and increasing human-wildlife conflict. Tension is rising between governors and senators, with members of parliament accusing county leaders of avoiding accountability for public funds. Senate's County Public Accounts Committee Chairperson Moses Kajwang and Public Investment Chair Godfrey Osotsi warned that governors who ignore summons risk fines, surcharges and suspension of resources. They also challenged the Council of Governors to substantiate claims of extortion against senators, emphasizing that audits are conducted by the Auditor General. Despite order from COG, Narok Governor Patrick Ole Ntutu and Kitui's Julius Malombe appeared before Senate committees, while Murang'a Governor 𝐿𝐬𝐬𝐿𝐬 defied a summons and has been called again. Senate Speaker 𝐬𝐬𝐿𝐬𝐞 affirmed that the House will maintain its oversight, with 14 counties facing potential sanctions for skipping hearings.
So the ones who have a problem with the Senate also have a problem with management of financial resources, and by extension they have a problem with the people.
And in any case, the chair of COG has been giving us problems. And yet we hear that he wants to become a senator in 2027. How will he become a senator when he's scandalizing Senate?
Still on matters war between the Senate and the county bosses, the Council of Governors has written to Senate Speaker 𝐬𝐬𝐿𝐬𝐞 requesting a meeting with Senate leadership to present evidence of alleged bribery demands by members of the County Public Accounts Committee. Council's Chair Ahmed Abdullahi says he has received threats since raising the claims, describing them as attempts to intimidate governors. Ahmed alleged that most of the senators involved belong to ODM and warned that the situation could strain relations between the county leaders and the Senate. He emphasized that governors are not evading accountability and called on the implicated senators to step aside as the Council of Governors prepare to submit its evidence.
Whatever evidence governors have, governors will table to him and to his leadership. And we're saying something's got to change in that particular committee. We've been accused of suspending the Constitution. No, we're not suspending our Constitution. Yes, we respect Senate's role in oversight. All we're saying is it must be exercised responsibly.
Away from that, over 1,000 vulnerable children in Isiolo County have received sleeping kits aimed at improving rest and learning. The Mwenda Thuranira Foundation, supported by global well-wishers and sleeping children around the world, donated mattresses, mosquito nets, bed sheets, utensils, and school supplies, with each kit valued at 5,000 Kenyan shillings. Education stakeholders from the region emphasized that proper sleep enhances concentration and academic performance, making the donation both timely and impactful.
When the mind of the child is not relaxed na akose kulala mahali pazuri, hata katika hali ya masomo haitaingiana vizuri, kwa sababu atakuwa anazinzia kwa darasa. Lakini wakati mtoto amekuwa na pahali pazuri ambapo analala, analelax, atakuja shule akiwa very fresh.
Beekeeping in Tana Delta has evolved from a cultural practice into a thriving commercial enterprise thanks to a partnership between Nature Kenya and Africa Beekeepers Limited. Communities that once used destructive honey harvesting methods now rely on modern hives, boosting production, conserving bees and improving livelihoods. Supported by the TRI Tana project, groups like Chareko Youth and Golbanti Women are earning thousands of shillings from honey sales, paying school fees and investing in livestock.
Kwanza nilikuwa na 6,000 nimepata. Nilikuwa sikutarajia na nikaona faida mzinga. Kumbe mzinga iko na faida. Mara ya pili nikapata 7,500. Ndio nikaingia na morali, nikasema hapana, wacha nitaongeza mzinga nyingine.
Angry women in Miguti village, Githunguri constituency in Kiambu County blocked the 𝐄𝐚𝐬𝐭𝐥𝐞𝐢𝐠𝐡 road for hours to protest rising cases of lethal liquor and drug abuse. They say 4 young men aged 19 to 35 have died in the past year after consuming brews branded Ngui or Chihuahua. Mothers accused a local trade of selling the alcohol openly, with police reportedly turning a blind eye, leaving youths addicted and unproductive. The women vowed to eject the trader and urged the government to crack down on illicit brews and drugs destroying their community.
Sema hii kilabu iondoke kabisa. Sisi hatutaki kilabu hapa. Waweke nini? Wakunywe supu, waweke botiki na mashoda, na sisi tuko sawa. Tunataka hii pombe serikali yetu ichunguze ni pombe gani hii inaua watoto. Juu kuua watoto ni kuua ile generation inakuja.
In sports, Kenya's rising Starlets have arrived in Dar es Salaam ahead of their return match against Tanzania. The game is scheduled for Saturday at the Chamazi complex, where the Starlets will aim for victory to progress in the regional competition. They hold a slim advantage, having won the first leg 1-0 at the Ulinzi Sports Complex last Saturday in their FIFA Under-20 World Cup qualifiers. And that's it from the Eastleigh Voice News Desk. I'm Zainab Said.